The magnetic core. We should be fine.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up mod squad, welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really helps push our videos into the recommend section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. In today's video, I'll showcase my new TU15 Countdown Heartbreaker build. This is a build that combines both the Heartbreaker gear set and the new exotic CATHARSIS mask, making this a run and gun assault rifle build that will benefit from taking damage from NPCs. Thanks to the Vicious Cycle talent, taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30, each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud which restores 5% of your max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. Now if you're looking to get this exotic mask, you need to hit level 90 this season reward track, or you can get it from exotic caches. Now because we are using the Heartbreaker gear set, which allows us to stack up to 200% bonus armor, this heal for the exotic CATHARSIS mask is not an important factor to this build. The important factor however is the damage we gain from tanking NPC damage, which will happen more often than not, as this is pretty much a face tank build. Along with the Heartbreaker and CATHARSIS mask, I am using the new named assault rifle, the Kingbreaker. Now to get this named assault rifle, you can either get it from the season reward track at level 80, or you can get it from named caches, or you can farm assault rifle targeted loot in Countdown. You also have a pretty good chance of getting it from the Countdown hunters, as they always drop a named item. Now when it comes to using this build in Countdown, I recommend sticking close to your group, as NPCs will be distracted by your teammates, making it a lot easier for you to pick them off. However, if you do decide to stray from your group, choose your fights wisely, as no matter how much armor you have, you will get shredded if you're caught alone with 2 or 3 NPCs. Before I go any further, I just want to mention, I know many people will recommend using the laser pointer from the tech specialization, but I personally don't think it's needed, as you only need to hit one headshot in order to pulse an enemy and kill them within 5 seconds, which is pretty easy. Back to Countdown now, and I don't recommend trying to 1v1 hunters with this build either, as even with full armor stacks you'll get melted or one shot by their melee attack. I recommend either playing from distance or use a build that is designed to take on the hunters. I recommend something like a Scorpio Protection from Elites build. The status effects will help slow them down, and the Protection from Elites will help protect you from their insane damage. Now when it comes to stacking the Heartbreaker gear set, I have seen quite a few people struggling. Using an assault rifle or an LMG alone takes forever to build them up, so a little tip for those of you who are struggling: the Heartbreaker gear set stacks the same way the Striker gear set does, so if you use a shotgun like the ACS-12, you'll build up stacks a lot faster. I'd also recommend using the Vindictive talent on your shotgun as well, so you can gain the extra crit chance and crit damage. It just means using a skill that will apply a status effect first. Now when it comes to this build's damage numbers, you're looking at 1.5 million crits to the head of NPCs and 900k plus to the body, which is perfect for shredding Countdown NPCs. When it comes to this build's survivability on the other hand, at its base you have 1.3 million armor and fully stacked with 200% bonus armor, helping us reach well over 3 million. This build has a nice balance of survivability and damage. To make the most of this build, you'll need an aggressive playstyle to keep both damage and armor stacks active. The more you kill, the stronger you'll get. This build is also perfect for all heroic content in the open world, whether that's control points, bounties or the summit, and it's also a lot of fun to use. Now we've spoken a little bit about the build and I'll showcase some of what it's capable of. Let's get into a quick build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, I'm using the gunner. Reason being is it adds a lot of utility and DPS to the build. As you can see, killing enemies grants 10% armor, every third reload is 50% faster, armor kits repair 100% armor and grant 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds, and who doesn't love extra bonus armor? We also gain the riot foam grenade, which will class as a status effect that will help you proc your vindictive talent. Each specialization comes with its own skill variant, and we have the Banshee Pulse, which is my favourite, especially for run and gun builds like this. Currently for some reason the Banshee Pulse isn't applying as a status effect. I think this is a bug they've created in this new patch. You used to be able to use the Banshee Pulse and get a kill with a vindictive weapon and it would proc the talent. talent, but it no longer does that. I did hit up Yannick on Twitter to try and get some feedback on it. I'm going to continue to do so, but once that is fixed, this will be the go-to specialization, because I do recommend 2 specializations when it comes to this build, either this gunner specialization or the technician. The main reason I would say go for the tech is just for those of you who struggle to hit the headshots to pulse the enemies, and using the tech you get the linked laser pointer. With the specialization you also generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds, and party members recover 5%. And this here is great for the Kingbreaker as it has 650 RPM, so rate of fire is increased by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. Adding a little bit of more DPS to the Kingbreaker is always going to be a good thing. And finally, 10% weapon handling while not moving, need to be motionless for 1 second. So if you have full stacks and you want to beam somebody at range, just stand still for a second. So on top of that 15% weapon handling you get from the Heartbreaker, you'll also get this 10% weapon handling as well. And that is pretty much it for the specialization, guys. So with that said, let's get into the build. Right guys, starting off with the primary weapon, and we have the named assault rifle, the Kingbreaker. As you can see down here, we have the perfect flatline talent, amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. After 2 kills, applies a pulse to the next enemy you hit. When it comes to the attachments on this weapon, we have 5% crit chance on the scope, the 20 extra rounds in the magazine, minus 10% reload speed, 5% crit chance on the laser pointer, and 5% crit chance on the muzzle. This is honestly one of the best assault rifles in the game, guys. I love using it. I like the AK before I use this weapon, so this is like a souped up AK, and then adding that 5% rate of fire on top with each kill you get from the gunner specialization is just really nice. For sure, one of my favorite weapons in the game to use right now. Moving on to our secondary, and it is the ACS-12. If you're using the Heartbreaker gear set, you want to use this weapon to gain your stacks. Gains them way faster than if you're just using an AR or an LMG. When it comes to the talent, we have Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and your allies 15 meters, 15% crit chance, and 15% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. When it comes to the attachments on this, we have 5% crit chance on the scope, and we have 5% crit chance on the laser pointer. Onto our sidearm, which is actually an important part of this build as well, we have the Orbit, which gives us the talent Perfect Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. You can actually stack Vindictive and Finisher at the same time for some nasty damage. When it comes to the attachments, 20% reload speed and 10% accuracy. And a quick show of the build before we get into the pieces, as I know some of you just want to see an overall picture of the build. We have the new exotic CATHARSIS mask, which has 170k armor, 18.3% incoming repairs, 4.3k armor regen, and 6% crit chance via a mod. And then we have the vicious cycle talent, which I went over earlier in the video. If you want to go over it, guys, feel free to pause the video. Not the greatest looking mask in my opinion. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Moving on to our Heartbreaker chest piece. Heartbreaker gives us 15% assault rifle damage, 15% LMG damage, an LMG build coming soon, guys. We get 15% weapon handling, 4 pieces the Heartstopper talent, headshots apply a pulse for 5 seconds, weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of plus 1% bonus armor and plus 1% damage to pulsed enemies up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second, so it's just like the Striker gear set. Looking at the core attributes, we have 163k armor, 2% armor from the expertise system, 12% critical hit damage, and 6% critical hit chance. And then we have the max BPM talent, increases max stats from Heartstopper from 50 to 100. And the reason I'm using the chest piece is it gives us more consistent damage. Onto our Heartbreaker holster, we have 15% weapon damage, 1% armor from the expertise system, and 10.6% critical hit damage. Onto the backpack now, we have the Heartbreaker backpack, which gives us 170k armor, 1% armor from the expertise, 12% critical hit damage, and 5.8% critical hit chance via a mod. And then we have the cold talent, increases total bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%. That's what's going to give us the 200% bonus armor. Onto the gloves now, we have the Heartbreaker gloves giving us 15% weapon damage and 4.1% critical hit chance. And the final piece of the build is the Fox Prayer knee pads. I know some of you are returning players, and I've seen you in the comment sections asking why I'm using the Fox Prayers. The reason we're using it is because the 8% damage to targets out of cover. This is multiplicative damage, and these knee pads are best in slot. We also have 15% weapon damage and 5.2% critical hit chance. Now, if you want to use an LMG with this build as well, what you could do is switch out the knee pads for the Heartbreaker knee pads and instead run the Contractor gloves. And as you can see, you'll gain 8% damage to armor. Moving on to the skills now, guys, and I had to change it real quick because for some reason the shield was there, and that's not what I've been using. I have been using the Striker drone, my favourite skill in the game. It serves as a great distraction, can distract up to around 3 NPCs at a time, which makes running and gunning a lot easier for you. I also have the decoy. The reason I use these skills is just as a distraction, just to make my life easier when you're running and gunning, so you don't get focus fired as much, especially if you wander off from your group. Really, when it does come to skills, it is your preference. Moving on to the stat sheet now, guys, and I'm not going to talk through it. I hope you enjoyed the video. We had that 500 like goal here on the channel that we always hit, and it helps us grow. So please smash that like button to help us grow. If you're new here, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content. Don't forget to comment below, and I'll reply like I always do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
Backup. Engineer down.
Get out of this garage!
System disrupted.
When you're ready to come home, shoot off a flare. Taurus sees you. Helo inbound.
System restored. An agent needs assistance.
Ready for extraction.